All right. 9 p.m. Central Time. We're going to go ahead and get started here. First and foremost, I want to make sure you can hear me. So if you can hear me, go ahead and type yes in the text box. If you can hear me, go ahead and type in no. Got a couple yeses coming in there. Perfect. The Football Recruiting 101. My name is Chris Vincent, football recruiting coach here at NCSA. I'll give it my background. I have an opportunity to go through the recruiting process, although it was a few years ago. Was fortunate to have 9 Division I offers walking into my senior year. 7th game of the season, I blew my knee out, lost every one of them. Hard work, perseverance, being open-minded and proactive. I was able to go on to a Division II school. I competed on scholarship, not only in football, but also track and field from the tryout with the Dallas Cowboys. And I went into coaching. Coached high school and the collegiate level for 16 years. I was a scout for 5 years. And NSA for 8. So the first thing I'm going to tell you guys is that I'm old. I've been through the recruiting process the last 30 years. I'm a player, a high school coach, a college coach. I have 2 boys of my own that play, so I'm going to be going through recruiting as a parent as well. So, like I said, just give you a little bit of my background and where I'm coming from in the recruiting process. So, game plan for tonight. I'm sure that when you leave this class, you have a better understanding of things, each division level and how they differ from each other, the when and how college coaches can contact you. Get in line for when scholarships and roster spots are typically offered, academics and how they're connected to your athletic recruiting, as well as to give you next steps to capitalize on your recruiting opportunities. All right, so look, Division III. Division III, there's 244 schools across the country. Now, we do have a playoff system and nationally televised championship game called the Stag Bowl. So if that's your goal on TV, you can still Division III. Only 13 Division III players on NFL rosters. It's also going to have elite academic programs. You have the NESCAC or the Little Ivies, Carmel and Johns Hopkins, Williams College, and a lot of other schools that you've never heard of. Your Division III schools are going to be your higher academic schools across the country. There are exceptions to every rule. This is no different. You do have Stanford, Notre Dame, Duke, Northwestern, schools like that. But as a whole, Division III are going to be your better academic schools. It's also the best opportunity to play multiple sports, football and track, football and baseball, football and basketball. Football and basketball is very tough because they run into each other. But baseball and track are in the spring. So if you are a baseball or track athlete and a football player, it's your best opportunity. They do not offer any form or type of athletic scholarship. However, they're very creative in getting athletes that they want. Merit-based scholarships, academics, need-based scholarships, as well as putting together substantial financial aid packages, all money that you do not have to pay back. Discount Division III schools because they do not offer athletic scholarships. NA Association of Intercollegiate Athletics across the country. Typically, they're in the Pacific Northwest, Midwest, or Southeast. Now, do offer athletic scholarships. There's 24 athletic scholarships on their team. Typically, the is winning time. The more you work, the more you get paid. They get up and given partials in conjunction with merit or academic scholarships. Now, they do recruiting rules. Very few restrictions on when college coaches can contact athletes on-campus tryouts at any time. Now, one position. Tryout, you know what it sounds like. You work out for the coach, and then find out if you make the team or not. One position, you have to be fully enrolled academically to the school, pay your fees and all that, and you go perform for the coach, and hopefully you're good enough to be a walk-on. Two big differences there between a walk-on position and a tryout. Equivalent to Division II in NCAA. Here to Division II. 9 programs across the country. The West Coast, and looking to go to a Division II school. There are only 6 D2 programs west of Colorado. So you really need to be open to traveling a little bit if that's what you're looking for. Regular season games. So once again, look at on TV. That's your goal. You can definitely do that at Division II schools. Very level of competition. 100 athletes currently on NFL rosters that came from Division II schools. All right, as far as go, they do offer athletic scholarships. They have 36 scholarships on their team. And it's going to be just like NIA. Can split those up. A combination of merit-based and academics and different things like that. So, again, scholarships here, just like the NAI, is going to be linked to playing time. The more scholarship money you get. LA or FCS, 100 programs across the country. National televised 24-team playoff. Now, AA can do 24 teams. The FBS schools can only do 4. Haven't quite figured that out yet, but up in the right direction. High-level competition. Too many to name all the players that are in the NFL, but I'm here that you may have heard of. Jacko, Tony Romo, Vincent Jackson, Jared Allen, AA players. Now, they scholarships across the roster. They can offer partial athletic scholarships, even with merit-based, need-based academics. You go to a D1 AA school and not pay a whole lot. Typical scholarships are going to be 50% of tuition. Now, there are 1 AA schools, Near League, Ivy League. Even though they are Division I AA, they are non-athletic scholarship conferences, which means they follow the same rules as Division III. Scholarships, need-based, merit-based, nothing to do with athletics. Schools. All right, FBS programs. Most people do know the Power 5 conferences. Independent schools, RV, BYU, and Notre Dame. 1% of players are going to be one. Less than 1% will Power 5 conferences. Notice I said play. Nothing with scholarships. Just less than 1%. Programs do have 85 full athletic scholarships on their team. That is not on their team. So if they already have 75 scholarships for the next incoming freshman class, they're only going to have 25 available, or 10 available, excuse me. Big here with the FBS schools. Athletics are all or nothing. All right, they go up into partial. Once again, scholarships are all or nothing. All right, contact rules. At Division III NAIA, it's pretty much unlimited on thing. Off-campus contact is the only thing that there's a limitation to. There's in your sophomore year. All right, you campus contact after your junior year in school. And then again, this is unlimited all the way through the rest of your junior and senior year. Division II, your year, you can start receiving brochures and camp information. Right? Limited on visits. School anytime you want. Conference it is, what division it is. One campus college coaches can talk to you. Division II into your junior year, again, you can start receiving the recruiting materials. You can start receiving phone calls after June 15th. All right, so between your junior and senior year, you can getting phone calls from Division II schools. You can campus contact as well, which means if you're playing 7, summer working, college coaches are able to come and evaluate you. Senior, everything unlimited. Phone contact, official visits. All right, so everything opens. Everything is wide open. Division 1AA. You can start receiving brochures and camp information. Visits unlimited. Your junior year. After September 1st of your junior year, you start receiving emails and social media messages, personalized handwritten letters from college coaches. To May 31st, it's called the spring evaluation period of your junior year. You can start receiving phone calls from college coaches. Right? There's no off-campus contact and limited visits. Now, senior year, one per week after September 1st of your senior year. After July 1st, the summer before your senior year, college coaches can come to 7-on-7s. They can come to summer workouts, things like to evaluate you. Visits. All right, now the coaches pay for you to come to their school and visit. I pay for your way to get there. They're going to pay for your hotels, your meals. All. Start first day of classes your senior year. However, you were able for the visits with the NCAA Eligibility Center. Registered with the NCAA Eligibility Center before you are able to go on those official visits. Offers. Everyone needs to understand, guys, recruiting is a marathon. Sprint. So you got effort over time. It's called the process for a reason, because it's overnight. Schools, most are going to take place during the senior season, well into late spring on the program. Got Division III coaches asking 2017 grads in August. I think senior season, membership offers are going to come out between November and March after the senior season. All right, NAI schools for 17 athletes. You're going to get a few offers the summer before the senior season, but typically they're going to be made towards the back half of the senior year. Play. 20 be made the summer before the senior year. Guys, come out by December. All right, which is past the season. That's the majority of them are going to come out. Now, there might be a possibility of one or two prospects in January, depending on academics and things like that. Your F schools, everybody's heard of the fifth grader in Hawaii that got a scholarship offer, or 7th, 8th graders, 9th graders. Got some Power 5 conferences, and to you, those offers don't mean anything. The only thing that it tells you is that college coaches do look at athletes that young. The thing until that athlete signs on the dotted line, signs that national letter of intent. So the fifth grader that got the scholarship offer, who's to say coach is still going to be at that school in 8 years? That's one thing to think about. Most offers are going to be extended during the spring or the summer before the senior year. There are going to be a handful of offers made during senior season. It's true what I said. Don't mean anything. And it tells us are looking at athletes that young, but need to see those athletes that young so they can evaluate their process moving forward. That athletes or late junior year, summer before their senior season, that's what's leading to those offers. Again, it is a process. It's a marathon. It's a sprint. You on here that go practice or go to a game to be an average football player. Then in the classroom, be an average student. All right? I'm going to give you all the benefit of the doubt. 4 years of football. You have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years left of football, and that's it. The application is going to last you a lifetime. So give something that's going to last you a minimum of 9 years, 100% effort, but not give an effort to something that's going to last you a lifetime. MEC, academically. All right, you can go to ncaa.org and up the 2017-2018 NCAA guide for the college-bound student athlete. It's going to post up-to-date information on what you need to have, what grade point average, what test scores. And that way you can work with your guidance counselor at school, ensure that you are on track and you get the proper classes. Okay? Go to college as a student. There's moments when you're an athlete. All right, so download this. It's a free PDF download. 2017-2018 NCAA guide for the college-bound student athlete. Now, if you're looking to play NAIA, you're with Eligibility Center there. www.playnaia.org. Similar PDF that they have. The NCAA. Going to take courses you need to take, what grade point average, what test scores, and this does update every single year. So, underestimate if you're a 2020, look at the 2017-18 version. Make sure your freshman year, sophomore year is on track. Then make sure you get the 2018-2019 version. All right, 2019-2020. make sure that you're totally up to date. And again, work directly with your guidance counselor. Make sure that you're getting the right courses. Moving forward to be successful here, guys, profile as close to 100% as possible. 2019 to 2020, 21, 22, 23. Chances you haven't taken the ACT or SAT yet, that's okay. That means 95%. Think about it, when you click on edit profile and it tells you your percentage, think of that grade. So if 50% and you in a math class, you get a 60% of test. What's to look at a D- profile in that 90-95% range. In 2018 should be percent. Right around the corner from school starting, set at least one academic goal. All right, maybe your overall grade point average by 0.2. 0.9, you have a 3.1. Or maybe T score instead of a 27, you want to get 29. An academic goal, not only set it, achieve it. And if you schedule your first one-on-one coaching session with your football head recruiting coach, all right, your head recruiting coach. Biggest asset you have in this recruiting process, helping you put together your game plan, getting on track, making sure that you're staying on track, right, of the knowledge. Together, you, your family, in say. So reach out to us if you have questions. 817-845-6272 or email us at recruitinghelp@nsasports.org. Now, we'll hear that, every one of you, awesome you're on the class here tonight, but if you have not taken rookie orientation, make sure orientation. Understand all the tools that you have within CSA and understand how to use them. If you've now taken Football Recruiting 101, your next football recruiting class is going to be coach communications, email coaches the right way. All right, so emails out correctly because that is the first impression that coaches will have of you. How do you find out who your recruiting coach is? Great question. When you look at your profile and it brings up the dashboard, up in the corner of your screen, you're going to have a little circle and it's going to have a small picture, your profile picture that's already on your profile. It's going to a drop-down box. You click on Schedule Coaching Session, up your head recruiting coach, and it's also going to bring up their available calendar. So it'll find a day and find a time that works best for you. Great question. Guys, thanks for taking time out of your busy schedule. This has been recorded, so I will be sending the recording out shortly after the class ends. If you do have questions, great opportunity to type them in the text box there. If you have questions, maybe you got a workout to get to, you got a hot date to get to, got off the phone, you're not going to hurt my feelings. But if you have questions, feel free to type them in the text box. Because the only question you ask in recruiting, or the only question is the one you never ask in recruiting. Tonight, that means either you guys are all asleep or I'm just that good of a teacher. one on that. Thank you. Jordan, how long do coaches wait to respond to an email? If you're talking college coaches, and it also depends on when your grad year is. 2019, and you're emailing Urban Meyer from Ohio State, he's able to respond to your emails yet. He's not reading them doesn't mean he's not looking at them. He's not researching you. Just not how you connect with those coaches. That's very important to make sure to take emailing coaches the right way. Work recruiting coach on perfecting the emails that you're going to be sending out. A video like your own personal video. When you really get some sort of video up there, whether it's through Huddle or it's that your face had taken. Can't do if you don't have any of those. Check with your teammates. All right, it's their parents recorded any games. That way, we're able to use those as well. You want to get some sort of video. If you don't have any game film, 7-on-7 will work now until you get game film. But that's really the only way that college coaches can evaluate you. (2018) grad reaching out to college coaches through email. Perfect. Realistically, the 2018 grads that are having the most success are sending somewhere between 10 and 15 emails a week. Again, make sure that everything is correct. Email by your head recruiting coach. Make sure it's exactly the way that college coaches want to. It's got all the information that college coaches want to hear from you. From a camp, it is the only film you have. Yes. Videos to link to my profile. What should the differences be in the videos? This video, Jordan, should be of last season. Videos should be every 3 games of the next season. Being a 2018 grad, so that way you're showing the difference between your your junior and your senior year. But updated every 3 games, that it's going to allow college coaches. It's almost like that they were at every game, because they're able to see those highlights and see what you're doing throughout the season. Differences between NAI and Division II, other than what you have explained? Not really. A lot of the NAI schools, they do change. They do come over to NCAA Division II. Different recruiting rules. There's different scholarship opportunities. On that, their Division II and NAI are very similar. College coaches like varsity highlights. Absolutely. They're going to evaluate on. But as a former college coach, I want to look at young athletes and get an idea of what they're doing now and be able to how they increase year to year. Tell me a few things. First of all, whether they plateaued or not. Second, it's going to tell me what their work ethic is over the summer. If they're not getting any bigger, faster, stronger, something's not right. So just varsity highlights, that's okay. I'm going to evaluate your talent until it is varsity footage. A lot of film from you and your quarterback coach. Training. Keep away from scrimmages. You want to keep away from training videos. You want to keep away from 7-7s unless that is all that you have. That's the only video that there is in this entire world of you playing football. That's news. Easy to be scripted. They prefer game film because they can see your true, from a quarterback. All right, there's, they can see how you're avoiding the rush. They can see if you're using your checkdowns. What your vision is like. What kind of decisions you make, different things like that, where you can't always see that in a scrimmage because you're not getting any pressure. Sevens, yeah, it's pretty easy to pick the defense apart because there's not a 6'6", 300-pound lineman in your face. How do you sport athletes? Again, the three coaches love it. Gives them more opportunities to get athletes and to get on the school, to get into the school. One thing, if you're emailing football coaches, you only talk about football. If you're emailing, you only talk about baseball. They play other sports, but your passion is, where your desire is, what sport is that you want to play. Trent, 7-on-7 film. Coach I spoke with was a D3 coach at a camp. He said, do add 7-on-7 to your film. They want to see 7-on-7. Absolutely, Trent. That's what I said. If that is the only video you have, there's no other video whatsoever in this world, it's okay to use that. Because that's nothing. Film, even if it's JV game film, coaches much rather see that than a 7-on-7. Match percentage when looking at colleges on NCSA. High match or a low match. It depends on, first of all, what you're looking for in a school. All right, preferences. Make sure you fill your preferences out. Secondly, going to be your athletic or academic evaluations. All right, I've been in recruiting. I will tell you, most athletes think they can play a level higher than they actually can. Dads think their kids can play 2 levels higher. Questions? Great questions tonight, by the way. About JCs. JCs are awesome. Depends on first of all, why are you going there? Because academics? No, that's a pretty bad thing. Strictly because you should be working harder in the classroom. Opportunity. It's an opportunity to get to work towards your college degree, play some football, get those grades where they're supposed to be, and then we'll transfer to a 4-year school. If you're looking at a JC to be going to play Division I, is the best thing. You're kind of stuck on weapons because remember, less than 1% of all players are going to play at the Division I level. Big opportunity. They are allowed 85 scholarships. However, the junior colleges in California do not offer any scholarships. And 43 JCs that are across the country, 89 of them are in California. There are some other junior colleges that, as an athlete this week, that they do have scholarships. They're limited to the amount of money they can offer out of state kids. have a 3.5, 1130 SAT. Should I seriously consider a match rating lower than 85%? Just trying to figure out where I should spend my time. Keep in mind, match percentage is made up of 4 different things. It's not strictly because of the academics. All right, it's as well. If you're looking to, maybe you're, and Jordan, I haven't looked at your profile, I haven't looked at anything, but let's say you're a 3-star athlete looking at a Division school. All right, that's going to be a fairly low match percentage for you. But school in the country for what you're looking to major in. All right, so the athletics out of it, you'd be a much higher match percentage. So typically what you want to do is look at the schools that have your academics, the academic standards that you're looking for. Look for an academic school that plays football instead of a school that also have classes. If the college have your major, should you change majors? Necessarily, Gene. Take a look at your preferences. Have put in preferences what you're looking to major in. It's going to change those match percentages. It's going to change the schools that you're matched with. Look for schools that have those academics. Never change your majors, man. If you're going to change anything, change the geographic preferences. Lose sight of why you're going to college in the first place, and that's to get that college degree. Don't let football force you to major in something just. Man, I got some of the best questions I've had in a long time. Great job. The recording out shortly afterwards, but never hesitate to reach out because, again, the only silly question is the one you never ask. Awesome, guys. Have a wonderful night.